Hello YouTube, Mike 0 Kilo November Mike. And today's video is just I had an email from I think he's a subscriber. He sent me an email saying he was watching a video with regard to the FT840 I used to have, Anthony Hulls. I think forgive me if I've mispronounced it. But he was asking, he's got an FT840 and he wondered how I got my Signalink working with the FT840. He said he seems to be able to get the receive audio through it, but it won't transmit. And I explained to him that I no longer have the FT840. I traded it in, I sold it, and then we got the TS2000. But I used the same process I did with the FT840 as I did with this, up until the last couple of weeks ago when I switched it around a little bit and did it another way. But saying that, I have the Signalink here. If we turn it around, forget the blue cable because I'll pull it out in a minute. So you got the standard USB cable. Now you would have another cable that goes into the speaker. That on the FT840 I pulled out of the rear headphone jack. I used that to pull the audio out, and it went into the speaker jack. I then, if I pull this out, you would have, if I can do this with one hand, you would have a lead such as this. It goes from the RJ45, when it focuses, right there, to an 8-pin round connector. Now, if I can do this one-handed, it would have gone into there. So the cable would go into the to the radio jack on the back of the Signalink, and then the round port would have gone into that's a bit mine's wired up wrong, so it's actually just keyed the radio. So I've oh, let me take this out here, turn that back on. So that would then go into there. Obviously for me it's no good because it keys the radio, puts the radio into some sort of TX, but for you that would be where this plug would go. And then you just take that out, put that in there, because I have another spare one. If you just give me a second, like that. Oh, so the TX you would turn to a point when you're setting it up, the same with the RX, and the delay you keep all the way counterclockwise. You don't turn it up this way, we turn it all the way down counterclockwise all the way to the bottom, so there's no delay. Obviously the power would be on, and then what you need to do is you need to sort the cables, the jumper lead inside the Signalink. Now I've got a spare one and I've opened it up. So here we have, I'll just do that just so you can see a bit better. So here you can see there's like an IC holder. That would be for the you can get little jumper blocks, I suppose, that slot in there for your type of radio. Now, I didn't have any of them, so for me to do that, I plugged in wires into each corresponding hole that needed to be. Now, the corresponding holes that I had to choose for the FT840, if we just come over here and click on that one, so we now come to the screen. So as you can see on the screen, it says the 8-pin round mic connector. These are the leads for them. It was, not sure, it's not this one, this is the accessory one. I think this one is, not sure. Can't remember what lead it is, but one of these leads is the 8-pin round connector mic, right, which is the lead that you're using going from the Signalink into the radio. Now, this one is for Yaesu here, and if you look on the radio models down here, we have the FT840. These are the cables that needed to be connected. So the mic would go then to pin 8. So I've connected a wire from pin from the mic little pin to the number 8, and then one from the PTT to pin 6, and G, which is ground, to pin 7. And that was all I needed to do. Go back to the camera. That was all I needed to do for this. So let me get a pencil. We'll do it with a pencil. Well, the microphone to pin 8. So we went from the microphone pin here all the way to pin 8, and then the PTT pin here to pin 6, and a ground to pin 7. And that was all I had to do for that. Once that was all back on, I was then able to use this along with the radio, the radio's USB cat link with WSJTX, and I still use the same program for this one as well. I use OmniRig via WSJTX to control the cat. I used to use on this radio, I used to use the speaker jack on the back of this before I wired everything into the back of the radio out the accessory 2 port. That video is also on my channel as well recently, so you can look back on that if anybody has TS2000 they're wondering how to do it. And that was all I used. So in the beginning, before I used the accessory 2 port in the back of the TS2000, I used this setup exactly how I've explained it, that I used for the FT840. The FT840 was used with the speaker jack into the headphone jack at the back of the radio to get the audio out of the radio into the Signalink. The radio port, the RJ45 radio port, went to the front of the radio, and that was how I keyed the radio. It was keyed via that. I never used Vox on it. I used it as standard, the front, so the front would PTT as well. And that's it basically, and it worked. But if you have any type of issue, if I haven't explained something, or you need something explained in more detail, let me know. Basically that was all I did. All I did was put wires to the certain point that I needed to on here, and connected it via the front of the radio. And that is all I needed to do. But if you need any more me to go into any more detail on it, let me know in the comments or email me back, and I'll be happy to help to try and get you to where you need to go. So on that one, I'll leave it there. Everybody else, like, subscribe, and comment if you found this any use. Let me know, and I'll see everyone on the next video. Bye for now.